Hi class, we've reached the final lesson of our unit. It's a very short unit. Today we're going to talk about percents. Now this is something that you're familiar with, but and we're going to delve a little bit deeper in terms of how we actually find percentages. So for example, let's say you got these marks on your test, and the first one, 35 out of 60 on the test. How do I find out what percentage did you get on this test? Okay, so what we need to realize is that anytime they use the word out of, we're going to divide. Okay, so we're going to take 35 divided by 60. But because we're trying to find out the percentage, well, a percent is out of 100. So we always have to multiply the answer by 100%. Okay, because that's the total, that's the most amount of percentage you can get. Okay, so if you do that, 35 divided by 60 multiplied by 100, you type that into your calculator, you're going to get 58.3%. Okay, now you may round to 58%. I don't really mind. Okay, so same thing with the next one. Out of means to divide. Okay, so we're going to do 19 divided by 25, but don't forget to multiply by the 100%. We need that to find out the percentage. Okay, put that into a calculator, see what you get. You should get the answer 76%. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We're going to look at a couple of harder questions here. The next one says 24 is 80% of what number? Now, this is a little different because they don't tell you what the total is, like what the total is. Like, for example, the first question, we're given that the total is out of 60. The second question here, the total is out of 25. But this one doesn't tell you what it is. They want you to find the total, right? They want you to find out, let's say if you get 24 on the test, and that is 80%, they want to find out what is the test out of. Okay. Now, there's an easy way to do this kind of question. It's fairly simple. All you have to do is, first of all, convert the 80% into a decimal. So to do that, remember to convert 80% into a decimal, you just do 80 divided by 100. Okay. And that's going to equal to 0.8. So 80% is the same as 0.8. The next step is basically take the number 24 here and divide it by 0.8. Okay? If you do that, you're going to get 30. So there's your answer right there. Okay? Now, if you are really keen and you want to check your answer, what you can do is do a quick check. You want to see, is 80% of 30 really 24? Well, let's check. So this is 0.8. Now the word of, not out of, right? Just the word of means multiply by 30. And if you do that on your calculator for the check, you're going to get 24. Okay, so this is a check. You don't have to do this, but I'm showing you so that you know how to do it. How to check the answer. Okay, but 30 is the answer right here. Okay, so the next question here, 75 is 38% of what number? So same as before, we're going to convert this number into a decimal. So if you divide that by 100, right, divided by 100, you're going to get 0.38. And what you're going to do next is take this number 75, and remember what we do? We divide it by 0.38. If you did that, you're going to get 197.37. Okay. Okay, fairly straightforward. Number 4, you got 75% on your unit test. If the test was out of 58, what was your mark? Okay, so this is something a little interesting here. So this here, 58, is the total, right? So what they really want to find is what is 75% of 58, right? And now to do that, you convert it into a decimal. So 0.75 of means multiply 58. Okay? If you did that, you're going to get the answer 43.5, and that means you got 43.5 marks out of 58 on this test. The next question here is tricky. If your mark was actually 29, what was the test out of? So there, they want you to find out what the total is, right? They don't know what the total is. So what you need to do is do what we did before. You take the number 29, which is your mark, divided by the percentage you got, which is 75%. So you're going to convert that into decimals, so it's 0.75. And if you did that, you'll find that the test will be out of 38.7. Right? So that's the total number of marks. It's a kind of odd mark, but that will be the total of number of marks that will be on the test. Okay, you may round it to 39. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so number 5, it says you spend 21% of income on rent. If your rent was $900 per month, what is your income? I'm assuming they're talking about the monthly income. Okay, so let's think about it. Are we asking for the total here, or well, let's think about this. Your income is how much money you're making, right? That number there has to be bigger than $900 that you pay for rent. So what they're asking us is to find out what the total is, right? Like, we need to know what the total is to figure out what percentage we're paying for rent. But the nice thing is that they tell us what the percentage is 21%. So all you have to do here is just say income, which is what we, anytime we're trying to find a total, remember we need to actually divide, because so it will be $900 for the rent divided by 21%. Convert that into decimal, remember, so that will be 0.21, and you're going to get the answer here will be $4,285.71. Okay. Now that hopefully makes sense, because this number is the amount of money you make, and out of those numbers you paid $900 for the rent. Okay, so hopefully it makes sense to you. But if not, please ask a question while you're in class. Okay, the next one says what 17 is what percent? So it should say 17 is what percent of 30. Okay, so what we need to do then is we know that this is sort of your mark, right? And this here is your total. So to find out what percentage is, we just have to divide. So 17 divided by 30. And remember, you have to multiply by 100% to find out what the actual percentage is. Okay, if you did that, you're going to get about 57%. Okay, last two questions here. Hopefully, it won't be taking too much longer. It says an item is used to sell for 75 cents per pound. Now the item sells for 81 cents per pound. What is the percentage increase? Okay, so the percentage increase, okay, I'm going to write it like this. So percentage increase is equal to the amount of increase, okay, divided by the original amount. Now you don't have to actually write this down, but I'm just writing this to explain to you. Okay, so what is the amount of price increase? Well, to go from 75 cents to 81 cents, how many cents did it go up to? How much did it go up by? Well, to find that out, we have to simply do a little bit of math, right? So we just on the side we do 81 minus 75, and you realize it went up by 6 cents. So we just put 6 here, and then the original amount is the original price. What was it before? Well, it was 75, right? So we just write 75 here. And don't forget, since we're trying to find a percentage, we always have to multiply by 100%. Okay, so in your calculator, you should do 6 divided by, remember this line means divide, by 75, and then multiply by 100%. Okay, so if you did that, you should get about 8%. Okay. All right, so here's the last question. Your friend diet and goes from 125 pounds to 110 pounds. So he lost some weight. What was his percentage of weight loss? Okay, the same as before. So the percentage loss is equal to amount of loss divided by the original amount. Okay, so to find out the amount lost, okay, we just have to take the difference between these two numbers. Okay, so let's do a bit of math. Again, you don't need to write this down. You could just write it into your calculator, type it into your calculator. So 125 minus 110, that's equal to 15. So that means he lost 15 pounds here. Okay, that's the amount of lost. Now the original, well, how much did he weigh originally? Well, he started with 125 pounds, so we're going to write the number 125. But don't forget, you always have to multiply by 100% if you want to find the percentage increase or decrease. So on your calculator, you would do 15 divided by 125 times 100. Please try it out on your calculator and see if you can get this number. The number that you should get here is 12%. Okay? Thank you, and I hope you are able to ask me some questions and get your work done today.